Good morning, class. Welcome to day one of geometry for the school year. Today we're going to be working on the worksheet number one in geometry. So it's in your Google Classroom. It's a Google Doc that you're going to fill out. But I'm going to start by doing it here. So I pulled it up. So first things first, we have a couple definitions to talk about. We have points, lines, and planes. Actually, let's do this. Points, lines, and planes in red. So, all right. So points, lines, and planes. So points in geometry, a point is a location. All right, so a point is a location. It's represented by a little dot. So that right there is a point. So that right there is a point. But it refers to a location. It's actually so small that you can't see it. A point is something so small that you and I cannot see. But in geometry, we put it as a period. It looks like a little dot. So that's a point. Then we have what we call a line. A line contains points. So a line contains points. So if I have a line here, we'll call it line L, lowercase l. A line contains points. So here we go. Points, 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 points. There's actually an infinite number of points on that line. So a line is it's anything that goes through points. You need 2 points to have a line. So if I have a point here and a point there, I can actually connect them with a line. Just like that. So the last one we're looking at today is a plane. Now, a plane is a flat surface that contains points and lines. So notice, a plane contains points and lines. So a plane actually looks like a rectangle, or a parallelogram is how we represent a plane. And so if you look at this example right here, I'm not going to go ahead and draw it because we have it. So the plane is this parallelogram, and then we would normally shade all in there, and that would represent the plane. The line, in this case, they're showing us a line ABC. All right, so line L, which is ABC, that's a line. And then points are A, B, C, and look, this point D. D is a point on the plane, but it's not on that line. So you can have a point that's not on the line, but is on the plane. So hopefully it'll get a little bit easier for you guys to understand. But if points are on the same line, they are collinear. So A, B, and C, they're on the same line. That means they're collinear. And if the points are on the same plane, they are coplanar. So coplanar means that they're on the same plane. So ABC, they're on the same line. They're each on the plane. They're coplanar. But also point D here is also coplanar. It's on the same plane as points A, B, and C in this scenario. So for example 1, we're going to use the figure to name each of the following. So the first one is a line, so I'm going to switch to green because that's what we're using to represent a line in this problem is green. So a line containing point A. So if I look at point A is right here. A line that contains it is this thing here. So there's a couple different ways that we can name this line. You see this little lowercase l right there? That's one way to say it. So the line can be named as L. So we would just say L. That's one way to say it. Or a line can be labeled by any 2 points on that line. So we have AB as that, and you can't really see it, but there's an arrow above it. This is how we say line AB. So that's one way. AC, it has the arrow, but you can't see it. And BC. So those are the 4 ways to name this line that contains point A. So that's how we would name the line. Now the next one is a plane containing point D. So now we're actually going to name the plane. So the plane, if you look, the plane can be named as plane N, because this capital letter right there in the corner tells me what plane it is. So it's plane N. And notice you have to write out the word plane. So when we're doing this, when we say a plane, we have to write the word plane, plane N. Now we can also use it by any 3 points, using 3 non-collinear points in the plane. So we can use any 3 points, but we can't use the 3 points that are on the line. So that means we can use A, C, and D, but we couldn't use A, B, C. Or we can use A, B, D, but we couldn't use A, B, C. So, or A, C, D. So if you notice, we have A, B, D. That's one way. So we say plane A, B, D. Or we can say plane A, C, D. A, C, D. Or I could say DCA or whatever, but as long as I say plane, and so forth. I could do plane B, C, D as well. So I don't need it particularly to include A. But it wants you to contain part D. So that's how you do that. We're going to go ahead and we're going to move forward here. Name a line that contains point A. So if you notice, we could have answered this multiple ways. I can say L and be done with it. See, because here's A. It's on line L. So I can say L. Or I can say any of these. I can say AB. Or I can say AC. I can even say BC. So that's one way to do it. What is another name for line M? Well, line M contains points B and D, so we would say BD. That's one way to do it. Name a point not on AC. So a point that is not on AC, if you look, E is not on AC and D is not on AC. So I could say point. Well, I don't even have to write point. I just write it as a capital. I would write D is not on AC or E. What is another name for line L? So you're getting the picture. You should be able to do that. So now draw and label a figure displaying each of the following relationships in exercises 6 and 7. This is where I'm going to drag over the worksheet, and this isn't the right one. Hold up. I'm going to drag over the worksheet and show you how we're going to do that here. So I created a picture. I already threw in the plane. So what you're going to do is AB is in plane Q. So this is a line AB in plane Q. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to double click the image, and it's going to come up as a drawing for you. And I didn't label this plane Q, so I got to put a text box in there. And I'm just going to I'm going to italicize it and put capital Q. I'm going to put that right in the corner. Alright, and now it wants a line AB. So I'm going to put a line But if you notice, this is a line segment. It doesn't have the arrow tips. So the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to put a ray going this way, and then I'm going to come right back and go the other way. So that's my line. And then I'm going to put, I got to put another text box in here. I'm going to put A for point A. Oops. And then here's a trick. I'm going to Control C and then hit Control V. Oops. I'm going to make sure I'm clicked on it. I'm going to Control C, Control V, and it shows up another A, and then I can just drag that, and I'm going to change that to point B. So far, so good, but in order to finish it, I'm just going to go ahead and put a circle. Let me put a circle. I'm going to call that. I don't like that. So I'm just going to try and put like a little shape on there. There we go. Put the circle. I'm going to put it on the point right there. So that's point B. Control C, and I'm going to Control V it again so I can drag it and put it right where A is. And so once I'm done with that, I'm going to hit save and close, and it's going to show up here as AB on plane Q. So that's one way to do it, guys. And then ST intersects AB. So again, I created a line just so that you can double click in there and finish out the drawing. So we have ST, you got to label that ST, and then you got to draw another line that intersects ST, and then you're going to put the point and label the point. Bear with us, guys. It's doing geometry on the computer is not the ideal way of handling it, but we're going to do the best we can. So any questions, reach out. Feel free to contact me. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.